You know what I did to start making an extra $10,000 a month? I took every mini orthodontic residency program for general dentists in the US. I thought it would be enough, but guess what? I was still struggling. The fear of putting braces on my patients kept building up over time. And the worst part, I had no one to turn to for help. I realized something crucial. Mini residencies and weekend courses just don't cut it. They give you bits and pieces, but not the confidence or the skills to truly get the job done. So I was left with only one option, a full orthodontic residency program. It was a massive decision because I spent 4 years there and every penny of my $500,000 savings to complete it. I made sure to learn everything about orthodontics. Naturally, I thought my fears would be gone once I finished. But when I returned to my practice and started treating real patients, did those fears disappear? Not really. There were still cases I couldn't fully figure out. And just like before, I had no one to ask when I needed guidance. Luckily, because I had treated over 100 patients during my residency under the attending doctors, I was able to push through. I solved the most of the challenges on my own, though it still took time. Residency helped, but I still feel like there was a long road ahead before I could confidently handle all types of orthodontic cases. Then the years went by, case after case, my experience grew, and before I knew, I had treated over 5,000 patients. The biggest shock? I could now create a treatment plan in less than a minute. Orthodontics was no longer stressful. It wasn't overwhelming. I wasn't scared anymore. Instead, I started loving what I do, and as a bonus, I was making an extra $10,000 a month or even more. Hey guys, I'm Dr. Hong, an orthodontist in the US. Let's talk about reality. You know, inflation is insane. Rent is up. Dental supply costs are through the roof. Labor costs, don't even mention it. The worst part, none of this even surprising anymore. It doesn't stop there. Every year, 8,500 new dentists enter the field, making competition fiercer than ever before. I don't even want to imagine what things will look like in the next 10 years. As competition grows, new patients are harder to find, and if competitor always opens next door, you could lose 20-30% of your patient base over one night. That's the harsh truth. Sounds scary, I know, because I've been there 10 years ago. I was I was facing the same struggles you are right now. So, what's the solution? Let's talk about it. Back then, I was general dentist, and while prices weren't skyrocketing like they are right now, things still weren't looking great. 2 years after I opened my small town practice, a new larger dental practice popped up right across the street. And guess what? They took 30% of my existing patients. I poured the money into the marketing, but honestly, the results were disappointing. Since the population in this small town wasn't growing fast enough, the patient pool was pretty much fixed. Unless I offered something new, my practice production wasn't going anywhere. And just when I thought things couldn't get worse, another dental office opened up about a mile away. You can guess what happened next. My production dropped to less than halfway of what it was before. At one point, I couldn't even fill my schedule. I will never forget the stress I had at the time. It was so bad that I thought I'm gonna get bald and losing hairs. One day, the lady at the hair salon pointed out two bald spots of just about quarter size on the back of my head. I believe that you can definitely relate that. And it was a wake up call. So, how about now? Doesn't feel like it's getting worse? The situation seems like a total mess, right? I was thinking, how on earth are we going to fix this? Too much competition. Here's the thing, the population isn't growing enough. New patients aren't showing up. And now, with more and more competing dental offices, we are all fighting over the same fixed number of patients. The only solution that came to my mind was to offer something new to the patient to bring the patient back to my office. So guess what? I started by buying expensive teeth whitening machine and offering that treatment for nearly free of charge. Tried everything to draw people back in. I bet you did the same. So many things similar to that. But honestly, the results were disappointing. That's when I thought about orthodontics. I saw an opportunity to boost my production by providing braces to my existing patients. Every month, in reality, I was referring 5 to 10 orthodontic patients to orthodontists nearby. And I was certain that if I could keep those patients and treat them myself, it would be a solid solution. There were two ways to go about it. I could either hire an orthodontist to treat patients in my office, or I could learn orthodontics myself and take on the treatment. Hiring an orthodontist was can be quick, but it wasn't really profitable. I could end up costing me more than I was making. Plus, I'd at the mercy of orthodontists. If they constantly ask for a raise, what could I do? I wouldn't even be able to handle the situation since I couldn't do braces myself. I bet no one wants to be in that situation. So I decided to learn orthodontics myself. At the time, I was running a dental practice, juggling work and raising kids. So quitting my job to take over orthodontic residency wasn't a good option. I needed a way to keep my income flowing while I'm learning orthodontics. So after some research, I found a couple of options. One was attend weekend seminars on different ortho topics held in various states, but they didn't feel like the right fit. The other option was a mini orthodontic residency courses. They are 2 years program held every 6 to 8 weeks, where I could attend weekend seminars and actually work with a couple of patients in the process. The mini residency was a little pricey, but it was way cheaper than enrolling a full orthodontic residency. And the best part, I could continue running my practice while learning. So that's what I decided to do. So I spent 2 years learning everything I could and finally got my certificate. But when it came time to treat patients, I felt totally lost. I had no idea what kind of patients I should take on. And it was surprisingly hard to find even the similar cases I had learned about. What was even worse, I had no one to ask for help. I had only treated one or two patients at most, so my experience was very, very limited. I felt stuck after 2 years paying all the money. All that hope I had it quickly turned into despair. After a lot of thinking, I realized there was only one way left. I had to take the orthodontic residency. But now, but wow, it was no joke. Between tuition, living expenses, and all loss of income from my practice, I ended up spending around half million. It wasn't just money. It was a huge time commitment too. But I knew I had to go all in if I wanted to make this work. During the residency, I got to treat about 100 patients, not on my own, but alongside attending doctors. And that hands-on experience, it made a huge difference. I gained way more confidence and my fears started to disappear. 6 months before I graduated, I started gathering orthodontic patients in my practice. By the time I graduated and returned to my practice, I had a full schedule of the patients waiting to be treated. At first, it wasn't easy. I was slow and lacked confidence, but thanks to the experience of treating 100 patients, I could manage even without anyone to ask for help. In my first year back, I focused on giving free orthodontic consultation to existing patients while my associate general dentist continued handling general dental treatments. The results? My revenue jumped by 1.5 million compared to the previous office production, bringing in the total of about $2 million. What was even better was that my competition around me didn't offer orthodontic treatment, so we started attracting a lot of their patients. This boosted both my orthodontic and general dental productions. But could I have done it all alone? No way. Let's break it down. If you can start just one case a week or even one case every 2 weeks, if you are really struggling to find the patients, you are looking at another $5,000 per case. Do the math. 5,000 times 26 is $130,000 a year extra. Normally, in my practice, I could start 2 to 3 cases a day. So if you can start one case per 1 week, then you will earn $260,000 in revenue just from orthodontic practice. So why wouldn't you start, right? In today's world, where it looks like and where the looks dominating orthodontics, it's becoming more and more important as more dentists turn their attention to orthodontics. Those who start now will likely thrive. The problems, the entry barriers to proper orthodontic education is high. There are, there are not many places where you can really learn orthodontics properly. The competition for orthodontic residency is fierce, as you already know, and the number of students accepted is still extremely limited every year. Then there are those weekend seminars and mini orthodontic residency, which usually consist of just 7 or 8 lectures with hands-on one-to-patient the most. Do you really think those will prepare you enough? I don't. Sure, there are amazing dentists out there, maybe they can do it. But personally, I wasn't one of them. So, does that mean there's no way around it? My answer is sadly, up until now, there not really has been one. There hasn't been an orthodontic program that compares to the residencies. But hold on, there's one way, the best way to get the best training possible. Imagine this: what if what if my close friend were an orthodontist and he could teach me all the orthodontic theory and discuss cases with me before I started treating patients. And then we could hop on Zoom call when I have real time discussion during the clinical situations with a patient. That way, I wouldn't need to take an orthodontic residency at all because it would be just as effective. But let's be real. How many people actually have friends who can do that? Not many, right? Wouldn't it be amazing if someone created an orthodontic program like that? think you do. I think you would agree. That's exactly why I decided to create a program like this. It combines all the benefits of orthodontic residency, but without the drawbacks. It's the most effective practical orthodontic education for general dentists like me who wants to learn orthodontics as a way to keep their production stable or even grow it. So, what makes this program so effective and practical? Let's dive into the key elements. The first, the content needs to be concise and focused only on what we actually need. Let's face it, learning all those complex theories doesn't help when it's hard to apply them in practice. How many times have you learned something in the dental school that you never end up using it? I know I did. The same goes for orthodontic residency. Most of it doesn't end up being applicable. Sure, it varies by school, but when I talk to others, the reality was pretty much the same. We don't need all that extra theoretical parts. We just need essential stuff that we can actually use. Next, we need to learn how to distinguish between easy and hard cases. In other words, the program should help you recognize which patients are suitable for treatment and which aren't. This way, you can start by working on simpler cases and avoid diving into complicated ones right away. When I attended mini residency before the residency, I learned about more complicated cases, but in reality, we end up treating only very simple cases. It doesn't make sense, does it? You can't really start treating complex cases from the beginning anyway. And let's be honest, there are plenty of simple cases out there that you can treat all day. Third, the lecture should be on weekends, I believe, not on weekdays. After all, during the week, we need to be at our practice, treating patients and making money for, for our family. Plus, once you finish your orthodontic theoretical part, you should be able to start treating orthodontic patients in your own practice right away. That way, you can put what you are learning into the practical and practice immediately and start to make money right away. And fourth, the program should be online. The truth is, online learning saves time, money, and energy for everyone involved, both myself and you doctors. It's a no-brainer. I spent $10,000 extra for traveling, lodging, food, and stuff when I took mini residencies, in addition to tuitions. It is a big waste. Before I go to the fifth element, I should clarify the myth of hands-on work in the orthodontic mini residency industry because they all market that they provide hands-on experience and scold using typodon during course. If you know the orthodontic field, you will know that you don't really get to do too much hand work. Orthodontic assistant will condition the teeth before you put the braces and place the brackets for you. And all you have to do is readjust the position of each bracket. And done, they will cure them and put the arch wires back in. That's just so. Yes, you will need to practice on the typodon for sure, and it will not lack for teaching you the positioning brackets on the teeth. And more importantly, it can be shown online better than in person because the scene will be right on your face. Okay, I'll explain more when I get a chance to later. Let me move on to the fifth element. You need monthly case review seminars. Here's the cool part. Each resident will upload the patient photos and records, and the co-residents will all go through the diagnosis and treatment plan together via Zoom. So if there are 20 residents in the group, we will expose to 20 different cases each month. Over the courses of a year, each resident will present one case per month, meaning we'll go through 240 cases in total. That's a lot. I've never seen a system like this anywhere in US. It's the first of its kind in the world. Finally, and the most importantly, we need real-time support. And yes, I'll be offering this once a month for entire as well. This kind of hands-on real-time assistant is something no one else is providing right now. And it is also the first kind in the world. I guess I hold the two world records. After the completion of theoretical study part, I plan to offer real-time support where everyone can jump on Zoom call to discuss any kind of questions or issues that comes up while you guys treating your orthodontic patients. I truly believe that this will be a big time game changer and help many of you start orthodontic treatment in your own practice with confidence and continue the treatment smoothly without any stress or hiccups along the way. The real-time support like this is crucial not just for the orthodontic process, but for all the other fields too, but especially in the orthodontics where you can't really see the result right away and you are treating patients over a period of 1 to 2 years, even 3 years. Having a way to discuss any challenges that pop up is absolutely essential. Honestly, no mini residency or weekend courses offer this kind of support. Look, I spent over $500,000 and 4 years in an orthodontics residency program just for this reason. If there had been a program like this where you could get real-time support and practical guidance, I never would have needed to go through the residency and save for $500,000. So that's why I'm creating this new system, one that completely overcomes the current limitation of orthodontic educations in the US. Now think about it. After finishing this course, how many of you will still struggle to do braces? Not many, right? This system will make sure that everyone gets the support they need to succeed. But here's the thing. Why hasn't this kind of education program been available before? I know the answer. It's because creating this type of support system takes a lot of effort, time, and dedication from instructors. Most of them just don't want to put in that kind of work. Let's face it, most current courses simply rely on creating a PowerPoint, giving a lecture, and calling it a day. That's not enough, isn't it? And unfortunately, a lot of you quit because you don't see the long-term result you were hoping for. I'm fully committed to giving my all to this. I know how tough it is for general dentists trying to make it through right now. Trust me, I've been there and done that. And I've got your back. Stick with me, and in just about 2 to 3 months later, you'll be seeing additional 10 grands in your pocket. The course will be delivered via YouTube Live or Zoom meeting live or Google meeting. And since this is my first time doing this, there must be a few bumps along the way. So I appreciate you greatly if you can understand. I really want to give you more doctors a chance to join, but since this is my first course, I'm keeping the class size small to ensure that everyone gets the highest quality of education possible. I will update you on the registration date as soon as it's set. And I'm looking forward to seeing you in the program. Thank you, guys.